Ever so often, there's movies that are based about people in West Virginia.
And every now and then we'll talk about it.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy King Jerm, one half of Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Each and every Friday, Queen Jerm and myself drop an episode to show the people how Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Now, we're not like most married couples. Most of the time we disagree, but that's the beauty of the show. So, when you get through listening to Sparrows on the Review, come give us a listen. Each and every Friday on any DSP, go look for Pod and Saved Our Marriage.
Howdy, everybody. I'm JR.
And I'm Stacey.
And today's movie is Kristy. It's a movie based off of professional boxer Christy Martin, all the way from Mullins, West Virginia, which we'll just call Beckley for the people that don't know where that's at. And it stars a controversial actress named Sydney Sweeney. And before we go into anything crazy or anything like that, the first thing I want to get out here is that I have never seen Euphoria. So I can't tell you anything about Euphoria. I know nothing about that. So that has no influence on me watching her in the movie. Anything else that's gone on behind the scenes with the modeling and all that other stuff, I don't have any say-so. So no one butcher either one of us because we are not privy to the knowledge of this young lady. She was just in this movie we watched.
I mean, in my opinion, I'm watching a movie. I'm not watching somebody else's life. So just don't bring any type of politics into it.
And I agree with that. Now, this movie is about America's best-known female boxer from the 90s.
So let's start out by saying I am not a boxer. Like, I don't watch boxing or anything like that. It's never really anything that caught my attention. So I knew nothing about this movie and that she was from West Virginia until we started watching it. I feel like you knew a lot about her already, right?
Oh, yes. I knew quite a bit. I had followed her career. When she came into boxing when I was a kid, and it's not being African American, so let me throw that out the way because I know some people always think that just, we watch boxing and basketball. But we do watch that. We do watch those. But here's the deal. She was a phenomenon. Like, she was out there doing it. It was her. And then in softball, when the lady's name was Lisa Fernandez or Hernandez. Lisa Fernandez, I think. These two ladies at the same time were propelling women's sports. So I had no issue or no reason not to know who she was because I grew up with a lot of females, obviously, and they were playing sports. And we actually had girls boxing when I was a kid.
Right. And I mean, you spent quite a bit of time in southern West Virginia, the Virginia area when you were growing up too.
Right, in Beckley.
Yeah. So, and you have a very good memory. So, during this time, she was probably, still boxing when you were growing up. And that was something that your family watched and paid attention to. So I could 100% see you knowing about her.
Yeah. And I want to say, in this movie, I understand that this was one of this year's biggest bomb movies. This movie fell behind politics and all that stuff. So we're not going to get into that. But here's the thing. The heart of the story, just like with that one we watched with The Rock in it, I kind of like these little grabby, we're fighting movies, but we're not going to be too destructive with the fighting. I mean, they get knocked out. People get knocked the fuck out. Like, I'm not like, we seen a dude, she got mad and knocked him out. And we seen further violence in the movie later that we'll talk about. So
now, I have a question before we get started too much. So knowing the events of her life already, how well do you think they did portraying that in the film?
They did a very good job in portraying her life, and they added in a little fiction to make it, you have to do that for a movie. The later part of her life, I really like how they detailed it pretty fast but quick.
Yeah.
And I mean, they did really fast. It was
fast but quick.
Quick and fast, man. It's been a long day, y'all. I've been staring at a computer screen. Now, the only thing that I think that we got a little hardship in this movie, I wanted a little bit more time in West Virginia.
Yeah.
I needed a darker story about the mother. The mother had a deep-rooted jealousy and hatred of her daughter.
She was very homophobic.
Right. And that's one.
So, I mean, think about it from her point of view. And no way am I condemning her. no, that's bad way. No, no way am I
Condoning?
condoning her. Yeah, that's the one for the actions that she has taken. But you also have to understand that at that time, in that time period, how she acted was normal. Like having a daughter that was gay was not okay back in that time, and it wasn't okay in her family.
Right.
She wasn't taught how people are taught today.
Right.
You make your own choices and what's best for you, and you have to remember this was back then. So how did the people think back then?
Right. And with certain words like the word butch and the
Yeah.
actual idea of her mullet,
Yeah.
her look is, I hate to say this in the wrong way, but it's a stereotypical way of what people considered a lesbian
Right.
in the late 80s, early 90s.
Right.
So the tomboy look.
Yeah, just looking at her, you knew she liked females.
Right. And there wasn't no ifs, ands, or buts about it because you could see it and everybody knew it.
Right.
And one thing in the movie, when she was playing basketball at the university, she played at Concord. Out in West Virginia, you could even tell then, playing against her teammates, they even called her a lesbian when she got into a skirmish with one of them. And then next thing you know, this boxing career starts. She meets a promoter, and the promoter brings her down to Bristol. And when she gets down there to Bristol, she has to clean her image up. That's the first thing that the guy from Bristol tells her before he takes her to a trainer. He's like, your mother or your father needs to come with you down here. So even down there in Tennessee, there was a connotation that, hey, we got to make this look a certain way so that it works out. And sadly, in this movie, you find out that she put away her sexual identity.
She put who she was
away.
To be successful.
Right, to be one of the greatest boxers of all time.
Yep. And back then, you felt that you had to be that way. It's not like today where you can come out and be who you are, and you're going to have the people that support you, and the ones that don't matter.
Yes. And it's just a crazy thing happens. And throughout her career, she has a strong career. And that's noted in the film if you all decide to watch this, and I hope you do. I'm going to actually persuade you to actually watch this because it's something that might work out very well for you. So here we go with the one thing. She has an interaction with Don King, and if you're not familiar with Don King, please familiarize yourself with him before you watch this movie, because when you do that and you know that he was a prime promoter, the promoter of Mike Tyson, he was the prime promoter of boxing literally from the 70s until mid 2000s.
Like, I knew that the name meant something. I just, like I said, I didn't know who he was. And you caught me up on it. Like, we paused it and you kind of explained who he was and why he was so important. And I think that it's a strong point to know the true history behind it and not just experiencing it through the film, because she was the first female boxer under his umbrella.
Right. And she was on the undercard of a Mike Tyson fight. One of the ones, I don't know if it was the one where he bit Evander Holyfield. It was it was the Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield fight. I'll have to go back and look at that later just for knowledge sake. But she was on the undercard of a Mike Tyson fight. And to be on that, you have to be doing something good. Because they're not going to, back then, they, on pay-per-view, spending $50 back in that time, or even $100, depending on what we spent on it back then. They didn't just put anybody on there like you do see now on TV.
Right.
You had to have some chops. So definitely shout out to her on that one. Also another accolade, the first female boxer on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Now, getting deeper into the 2000s, by the time her career was towards the end, one thing I will say, I honestly will say, as far as her career, she got to a point where she turned into Brett Favre.
Okay.
And if you don't know that analogy, then I'll say it like this. Sometimes you can walk away and still be great. Like a Eli Manning. I'm not going to even say Peyton did that. Eli did it. Peyton had to go to another team and get a Super Bowl. But anyway, or you can be like a Tom Brady and walk away still on top, decent, whatever. Not like Phillip Rivers. But the thing here is, she waited too long in her career. In 2003, she took on Laila Ali, the daughter of Muhammad Ali, and she fought weight classes way too high. And in between her training with her husband, she got a dependency on cocaine. And being rich, and cocaine is a rich person's drug.
Right. And I mean, obviously signing under Don King, you know that she was making good money.
Right.
It didn't show that all of that. And that was something I was kind of looking back on. I remember watching this movie, and I will admit, I got lost and confused within the movie. I got a lot of my information from Wikipedia under the plot, because it's like you have to know the previous story. Like, you have to know the story before you watch it in order for it to make 100% sense. Because I feel like they left a little bit out. They left, I feel like the sexual nature of the two of them when they got married.
Yeah, her and James.
I feel like, I'm not saying that I wanted to see more on the screen, but I feel like there should have been more between them at home.
Right.
Like, show me who got who on the drugs. Like,
show me
how
the
that
dysfunction.
got, how that got started. Show me how he became controlling. Like, when did she first notice it? And show me those points in the movie, and not just, oh, hey, here, by this point right here, they're already knee deep in him abusing her and them doing drugs together.
Okay, and I can run with that. I really appreciate that. I think what killed this movie was the time jump. The time jump pretty much destroyed it. And when it destroyed it, it was like, I get what you're saying, because like that's what happened to me after her boxing career went to the middle. This is what messed it up for me in this movie. You know, her boxing career, we got her going good for a minute, and then her career kind of stalls, and then the next thing you know, she's fighting Laila Ali for no reason.
Right, because like it
jumped from 97 to 2003 really quick.
I felt like, oh, she was meeting with Don King, and then all of a sudden she was fighting Laila Ali, and it's like, well, I know that she wasn't going to jump in with a fight with Laila Ali for her first match.
Right.
So how did this kind of get built up? Where is her success shining? Like, I got a lot of information, but I also felt like I had to read a lot of information.
Yeah, and that was the thing for me. And it's like, when we did her career, we didn't get to see the 2 losses she took.
Right.
Initially.
Right. And I mean, I was fine with that because those were her beginning ones.
And that kind of like threw me for a loop, because it was like we heard about her record. And when you hear her record, missing those losses are what kind of threw me for a loop, because, you know, let's go to her record. Her record, she had 7 losses, right? And her 7 losses, I had no problem with her having those 7 losses, but I wanted to know about more than just the Laila Ali loss, because that's all I felt we got. And it took away from what I wanted, you know, what I was trying to do myself. I wanted to see more of these losses, because when you go in here and you look at the losses,
and I mean, don't get us wrong, because it was a good movie. Like, it overall was a good movie, and I learned a lot of information. And maybe that's why they did it. They wanted us to kind of fill in the blanks the best that we could with the information provided. I don't know.
And then it seemed like the rest of her career, she never got back on point.
Yeah.
With the losses and all that other stuff. So it was kind of like, wow. Having that amazing record, 49 wins, 7 losses, 3 draws, and 31 wins by knockout. You know, it just seemed like we could have got more. And she was one of the first inductees into the International Women's Boxing Hall of Fame. So I give her chops and her credit there. And not to not to stay too long with all of our chops, I would just want to leave this and then I'm done with my end of the business on this movie. If you take a chance in watching this movie, you're going to see the coal miner's daughter of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
You will see a side of this actress that I've not seen before. And me saying that is because I do not know her body of work and I don't know what everybody's concern was with her.
Well, we watched that one movie. Remember with her and Glenn Powell? Oh shoot. Well, I'm gonna have to tell you. So if y'all will hold on for just a moment.
Anybody but you, anyone
Yeah.
but you, yeah.
Yeah. We enjoyed that one. Oh, she was in Madam Web, which we didn't watch.
Oh, that's right, been what it was.
But yeah, I enjoyed the movie. I do recommend watching it. I do recommend reading both the Wikipedia for the movie Kristy and then also reading the Christy Martin Wikipedia page. Or I think she is, yeah, that's how she's listed under Wikipedia.
Okay.
And then watch the movie because it is informative and you do learn a lot.
Okay, I can see that. I can run with that. But other than that, this is a movie. This is not something that will go into a catalog or anything crazy like that. This is just something that was out. It was in the rare week that we watched 4 movies in a week. So, just look at the draw being released how it was released, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to discredit it. I'm going to actually give it credit for being a decent movie.
Right. And I mean, I thought the acting was good. Like each person to me filled the role that they needed to fill.
Okay.
Like I appreciate the actress that played her mother. Because her mother was portrayed as this just gentle, calm, sweet, caring person. That is how, that's how she was portrayed. And what you thought of her through the whole movie, which kind of made Kristy seem like the antagonist, I guess. Because only one point in the movie did we hear her mother raise her voice and change her tone.
Right.
So, like, I appreciate that actress for this.
Okay. So on that note, I'm JR.
And I'm Stacey.